E. Well, hello and welcome to the famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff, and for the next 30 minutes, we're going to be talking about the world of personal computers.
Yes, and this is Ellen Walker, and I'm going to be talking about it too. Today, we are giving away, our promo this week is featuring the Party Quiz from Suncom Incorporated. The Party Quiz is a trivia game, comes with software and hardware, and it features 4 independent controllers which allow up to 4 players to instantly respond to the trivia questions as they appear on the screen. It's a $69.95 value, and it can be yours free all this week at the famous Computer Cafe. So you call in with your question or comment, and Andy, what numbers should they call?
Well, before I give out the numbers, I'm going to let you know that our special guest today is Barbara Like, and Barbara is one of the principals of Clear System. They're a company in Santa Monica, and they're marketing a computer calendar program called Calendar One, I believe.
Calendar One.
And so if you want to talk with Barbara about Calendar One, how to use it, what's it about.
Or just want to talk about what's it like to start a software company.
Really, because that's a story in and of itself. You can call any of these numbers, Ellen. And it's in Los Angeles, 628 KIEV. San Fernando Valley, 989 KIEV. Glendale, Burbank, 956 KIEV. San Gabriel Valley, 443 KIEV. South Bay, 835 KIEV. Orange County, 714 area, 739 KIEV, and West Los Angeles, 837 KIEV.
And I just want to add, last week Michael asked all of you who are listeners to write in and tell us that you're out there. So we gave you the address, and I'll give it again at the end of the show. Remind me, Andy. But I wanted to say that we did get one great fan letter so far. Well, we've gotten more than one, but one that we particularly liked from Bob Claster, and we want to thank him very much. And we just want to let him know that we really appreciated him writing and that we agree with him about what he said about our commercials. So,
Okay.
Speaking of commercials...
But a slow.
If Lotus had given you just one,
a spreadsheet that's up to 50 times faster than other spreadsheets, with every statistical and financial formula you'll ever need, and the largest workspace on the market.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just two,
2, information management, to store and organize information with the ability to cross-index over 2,000 records by 32 criteria, and use information from other programs and computer systems.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just 3,
3, graphics, to graph information from your spreadsheet in less than 2 seconds, and change that information, touch a key, and graph the new results instantly. Graphics as a thinking tool.
that would have been enough.
But Lotus has given you more. Text editing, tutorials, a help key, and a host of features which give Lotus 123 its power and simplicity.
Lotus 123 is available at the Software Spot, 10977 Santa Monica Boulevard in West Los Angeles. Or phone 213-477-7561. That's 213-477-7561.
The Software Spot, the oldest independently owned and operated software store in Los Angeles. A soft sell dealer.
Well, hi, this is Ellen, and I'm over at the famous Computer Cafe News and Salad Bar, and we've got some news today, as usual. According to Online Today and all my friends at IBM, Big Blue has realigned its personal computer business, which the United Press says will increase its focus on new products, customer service, and growth opportunities. The National Distribution Division, or NDD to its friends, will now take on the dealer sales support and operations for the IBM PC line. Marketing will continue to be the responsibility of the Entry Systems Division. Don Estridge, the president of that division and a former visitor to the cafe, says that the realignment underscores IBM's continuing commitment to the PC product line, as if we had any doubt. Now here's a unique way that computers are being used. According to the LA Times, there's a new database being used in Israel to help rabbis and scholars. The program is called the Responsa Project and will eventually store at least 500 volumes on disk, including the Hebrew Bible, the Babylonian Talmud commentaries on the Bible, and even modern Hebrew novels based on religious themes. The 50,000 legal questions and answers stored so far are providing a treasure of information information on Jewish life and history to lawyers, historians, economists, musicologists, and linguists. Professor Jacob Klein of Bar Ilan University near Tel Aviv says he can find information in 10 minutes that usually takes months and months of research. There are 5 backup systems to the huge database, one of which is in Chicago's Institute for Computers in Jewish Life. Stephen Elbogen, K-Pro's National Director of Sales and Marketing, has been sentenced in San Diego to 30 months in prison for convictions related to a drug smuggling conspiracy. Earlier this week, Elbogen pleaded guilty to various charges and has been told to report to prison on February 19th. Also in the crime file, the Securities and Exchange Commission recently accused a Texas Instruments tax manager and members of his family of profiting from inside trading in TI stock. The Associated Press says they profited from prior knowledge when the company announced losses from its home computer division in 1983. Last week we reported that Osborne has emerged from bankruptcy, minus, of course, Adam Osborne, most of the 1,000 employees, the fancy offices, and the manufacturing plant. Osborne is now headed by Ronald Brown and has 32 employees. Brown is said to be basing his hopes for the future of the company on the loyalty of Osborne computer owners, who each own an average of 1.3 Osbornes. Osborne has virtually no working capital these days, so Brown is traveling throughout California, meeting with Osborne user groups, offering 3 million new shares of stock at $1 apiece. Analyst Ralph Gilman of Infocorp says this is guerrilla marketing. He says Osborne users are very loyal, but it is tough to get people to invest in computers these days. However, it's not difficult to get them to use them. Andy, I think you have something on the bulletin board.
Well, thanks, Ellen. We had a caller last week who asked, I believe it was Jan Davidson, about educational software to learn about the stock market. While I don't know if there's any particular per se programs like that, there are a couple that might be fall into that category from Blue Chip Software, written by Jim Zuber. One is Millionaire, and the other is Squire. They have a couple of others, but these are the two that deal with stocks. And they're real interesting. Millionaire is a fascinating game, and you buy stocks and sell stocks over these fictitious weeks using fictitious dollars, and it's a lot of fun and does give you a lot of insight into how the stock market works. Jim is going to be our guest here at the Famous Computer Cafe a week from today on the 28th, so you might want to tune in for that one. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll be here with Barbara Like here at the Famous Computer Cafe.
Where I hear the music, close my eyes, feel the rhythm.
Well, we're back. We're here at the Famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff, and we're talking with Barbara Like, who is one of the principals of Clear Systems. Barbara, welcome to the cafe.
Thanks very much.
Barbara, from time to time, we talk a lot about this industry that people have started software companies out of garages, and they've started companies on a shoestring, and they've really made their dreams come true. Or maybe they didn't always have that dream, but they got into it and they've become young entrepreneurs. And we thought today we'd have you in as one of our people who are making it happen.
I think you could have a whole new genre of dreams called dreams on a shoestring.
Dreams on a
Apropos of that, if Bob Claster is listening, I should say hello. Bob and I are colleagues from public radio, and that's very much a dream on a shoestring. And I know you've called Bob, and I promise I'll call back. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you last week.
Well, here we are, communication over the airwaves.
It's a very small world, and that's one of the things that you count on in a funny way when you're operating a business on a shoestring.
Well, let's get to the subject of the business. Clear Systems markets a program called Calendar One. Is that correct?
Right.
And tell us a little bit about it.
Calendar is a calendar program which displays or prints a monthly calendar in graphic monthly calendar format, so that whereas most of the computer calendars that are out will give you a text listing of events that fall on a given day, Calendar actually prints a picture or displays a picture of the month with boxes, and the events are listed inside the box so that you get a graphic month at a glance. One of the other unique things about this particular program is that the calendar the calendar files are kept with some kind of word processing program, whichever one you usually use, and you can keep as many different files as you have different purposes, so that you can keep a garden calendar, a meeting calendar, a birthday calendar, a things to do calendar, a deadline calendar, and either look at them separately on separate calendars, or you can easily merge them into a master calendar.
Well, I know for myself, for instance, I have a calendar at work, and it never seems to merge with my personal calendar. People would say, hey, let's go out for dinner on Thursday. and I never know should I put it on my. So I carry around these little pieces
Multiples.
of paper in my pocket
Right,
because I don't know
right.
if it should fit on the one at
Right.
work, which is all business, when there are business
Right.
meetings and that stuff.
Right.
So what you're saying is that you can do
You can
multiple
keep a business calendar, which you keep in your office. You can also keep a calendar at home. And if there are times when you are in transit and you have to know what's on each calendar, you can keep a third calendar, which is a master calendar, which will print both your work and your home schedule, so that you also don't have to worry about which calendar to put it on, since the program will merge calendars for you. You don't have to worry that an important piece of information is on the wrong calendar and you have the wrong calendar in your pocket.
So I would use this. Now this comes comes available for what computers now?
It's available for all the CPM 80 formats and for IBM PC and the IBM PC compatibles, which run under PC-DOS or MS-DOS.
Okay, and this program is available now?
It's available now, right.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, I want to get into a little bit more of some of the uses and some of the features of the calendar. I know, for instance, I have a printout from one of the features from the calendar, and did you know that today on your calendar it says that Richie Havens was born in 1941, Stonewall Jackson was born in 1824, and let's see, Paul Schofield was born in 1922, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We're going to get into that whole aspect of this, because we really haven't talked much, and then get into the story. How did you get started in this thing? We're here at the famous Computer Cafe, talking with Barbara Like. This is Andy Velkoff. We'll be right back after this.
Bank Street Writer by Broderbund is the one-word processing program that is unpretentious enough to be used at home by both children and adults, yet is sophisticated enough to meet most small business needs, too. Bank Street Writer is packed with powerful features that have made it the most popular home word processing program in the world. There are no complex codes to memorize. Directions are at the top of the screen every step of the way. Bank Street Writer gives you sophisticated features like automatic word wrap, universal search and replace, automatic centering, and easy storage and retrieval of anything you write, complete with password protection. Bank Street Writer also comes complete with a special tutorial on the back of the disk that teaches the basics of word processing. A comprehensive reference manual and free backup disk are also included. Want to try your hand at Bank Street Writer? Then follow your feet down to Strictly Software at 14617 Prairie Avenue in Lawndale. Or you can call 213-970-1242. Strictly Software, a soft sell dealer.
Well, we're back. We're here at the famous Computer Cafe. We're talking with Barbara Like. This is Andy Velkoff. We have a caller on line 1 who apparently only has a couple of minutes at work. Phil, how you doing?
Yeah, well, I have plenty of minutes. I just can't talk that long.
Okay.
Well, what I was going to ask, I want first of all compliment you on your program.
Well, thank you.
I just started listening, and I'm always thinking about computers. It's a good chance to kind of get some ideas.
Well,
I had a question on one of her calendar.
Yes.
She has boxes that represent days, right?
Right.
How many lines per box is that?
On the small calendar, you can get I think it's about 8 to 11, and on the largest calendar, if you have control over the size of the calendar, so you can make the width and length pretty much whatever you like. The very largest calendar that it will print gives you about 22 lines.
So if you wanted to remember particular days, throughout the years,
Right.
can you sort of like plug that in and then retrieve that as a format calendar, modify it for each particular month?
Yes, the calendar will print 1 month at a time, so that you will always get a complete month. You can't, for example, pull out just one day. But if there are birthdays or special anniversaries throughout the year that come up all the time, you can create a special file for recurring dates, and once you enter them the first year, you don't have to enter them the next year. It will come up automatically on that monthly calendar.
You haven't mentioned price yet, have you?
No, we haven't. It's $150 for the package, and actually until end of January, though, if you are a listener to KIEV till, let's say, middle of February, we are running a 2-for-1 sale. So $150 regularly or 2 for $150 if you're interested now.
If you mention the famous Computer Cafe.
That's right. Just give us a call for that.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Hey, Phil?
Yes.
Okay, what I wanted to ask you is, do you have a need for a calendar? What would you use calendar for?
Well, I kind of work. I'm a social worker, and I'm always making make an appointment.
Yeah.
And also, I have some other things that I do that I need to know offhand. I need a calendar for the given month, so I know to kind of schedule my appointments and things like that.
Well, I could tell you now, and actually, notwithstanding the discount that Barbara is giving for the month, we here at the Famous Computer Cafe do not get a kickback. But I will say that I've got a printout for January, and it does apparently, it prints out an entire month at one look. So it looks kind of like month at a glance, if you're familiar with that.
Imagine a wall calendar that you would buy in a bookstore, where you have the whole month of January and you can scribble things into the boxes. The calendar program will scribble them in for you, looking considerably neater.
I have another question. Can you access, like, say, well, did I make that appointment for so-and-so? Can you do that, a search or something like that?
With your text editor, yes. You keep all the events in a text file, and so you can use your word processing program to immediately locate anything you want. It's quite easy that way.
So it's a word search.
It's a word search, right.
It's written, is it binary? Is this written in machine language? Or?
It's written in Pascal compiled.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Phil. We have another call on the line. Hi, Bob. This is Bob. How you doing?
Hi, Andy. Barbara, you crazy kid. We got to stop communicating with you.
Old home week, I think.
For our listeners out there who might not yet catch on, we have Bob Claster on the line, who is the gentleman from KCRW who had written us a very nice letter, who apparently is a friend and an associate of Barbara's, I guess former colleague.
I had absolutely no reason to call her than to give her a hard time for mentioning me on the air, that's all.
Well, Bob, while I have you on the line, do you guys have any business to take care of? I mean, we'll just sort of sit back and...
None whatsoever. I was just, calling to say hi, and there you go. I like your show.
Thank you.
As you know, having received my letter.
Yeah, well, you do the comedy show on KCRW, right?
Yes, every Friday night at 7:30.
Uh-huh, and that, what kinds of things do you run on that?
Well, basically, it's I like to call it a graduate-level look at comedy. I don't really get into too much of the very commonplace stuff like Bill Cosby and George Carlin. I play a lot of obscure British comedy and some strange and wonderful things from the 50s and 60s.
Did I hear some Stan Freberg a few weeks ago?
You did indeed.
Yeah.
Did indeed.
Yeah. So now I know you have a computer.
I do.
And what do you use?
Well, I was one of the old survivors of the Timex Sinclair debacle. I had one of the few 2048s.
Listen, the Cubs fans used to say that, look at themselves that way, right?
Yeah, and I actually loved it until my mother bought herself a Commodore and bought me one so I could explain it to her.
Uh-huh.
So that sort of moved me up into the world of discs and DOSes and things like that, which I'm now frantically trying to struggle with in my copious free time.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen.
Other than a frantic search for a machine language string search program, it's about. Other than that, I'm perfectly happy with it.
Well, to my non-tech.
And also, aside from the fact that I can't get this calendar program from my Commodore.
You might have to branch out. Well, actually, it's interesting because Commodore has just come out with a 128 machine that will run CP/M.
Well, I must run out and buy one this second.
And yeah, I don't know if they're available yet, but they're coming out soon. But at least it would run all your Commodore 64 programs as well.
Well, hello, Barbara, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, Bob, thanks for calling and thanks for your letter, and we'll be sure to tune to be listening to you on the comedy show.
Thanks for the plug, Andy, and keep up the good work, Barbara.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Barbara, I know one of the aspects of this program is that you have a database already put on it, which includes such things as how did I know it was Richie Haven's birthday today? Right? And how did I know that, for instance, today was the day on which President Carter pardoned the Vietnam draft evaders in 1977, or that Louis XVI was guillotined in 1793?
The program comes with about 14 already prepared almanac files along different subjects we have a technical file for people who care about moon landings and such, and women's history, United States history. There's a wonderful file called Other, which has got miscellaneous things like when the first chimpanzee wore a blue kerchief or things like that. There's a very extensive entertainment file, a music file, a literary file. And just as when you go to a bookstore at Christmas time looking for a present and pick out a ballet calendar that has interesting things about people's toe shoes, this is an attempt to recreate that sort of special interest calendar for different kinds of miscellaneous information. I put together a printout for Andy for the show because, one, I wanted him to see what the largest calendar looked like, and also I wanted him to get a sense of the random collection of information. And, for example, this calendar has got other entertainment, I believe music, and technical. And it's just a random assortment of those dates. But what's terrific when you read it is that you realize, well, the most incongruous things turn up together in the same box, and it gives you just this wonderful dimension of cultural and American and world history.
Do you mean like the fact that Richard M. Nixon and Gypsy Rose Lee have the same birthday?
It's something that doesn't usually come up in social studies in 8th grade.
Not in ordinary conversation. That happens to be January 9th, by the way, according to the calendar here. And let's see. David Bowie and Elvis Presley were both born on January 8th.
That's right. This is important.
It's very interesting. Okay, well, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we've got another caller on the line, Steve, and we're also going to get a little sense about, how did you create this business? Did it come out of thin air or what? We're here at the famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff. We're sitting here with Barbara Like from Clear Systems. We'll be right back after this message.
SuperCalc 3 by Sourcem is a spreadsheet that's extremely easy to use, swift, and powerful, and it's priced lower than most other leading spreadsheet programs. SuperCalc 3 has all the built-in functions expected in a high-quality spreadsheet, and a lot more. SuperCalc 3's features include an on-screen help function, spreadsheet consolidation and sorting capabilities, calendar and date calculations, simple data management, functions, and windowing. The integrated graphics capability is superbly presented, allowing plotting and printing of charts in up to 99 colors. SuperCalc 3 provides you with the ability to create pie charts, bar charts, line charts, and XY graphs. The graphics are integrated into the command structure, so once you learn SuperCalc 3, plotting and graphing the results of your calculations is as easy as pie. To get a taste of the simplicity and power of SuperCalc 3, walk into Simply Software, where they'd love to whip up a quick demonstration. Simply Software is located at 3001 Sepulveda Boulevard in Manhattan Beach, or call 213-546-2467. That's 213-546-2467. Simply Software, a soft sell dealer.
Well, we're back. We're here at the famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff, and we're talking with Barbara Like. Barbara, how did Clear Systems get started? I mean, I know you have a background as a classical musician. How did you find yourself in the business of marketing software?
Well, the story goes back to some 22 years ago when I was invited to go on a sailing trip with my boyfriend, and my mother wouldn't let me go. And a friend of his got invited in my stead, who I met that summer when they floated in from what turned out to be 2 days of being becalmed on the Great South Bay. And
you didn't know your mother was doing you a favor, huh?
Well, life takes peculiar turns. And these many years later, my friend Jeff is a computer research person and designed, when he had his own company, which at the time was also called Clear Systems, designed a calendar program for his own use. The company Clear Systems at the time was a consulting firm, and calendar was something he needed one himself. He designed it to operate off a database because he was originally thinking of plugging it into an address book, which was a database that he kept on file. And then as he worked on it, it occurred to him that other people might have use of this kind of graphic calendar. At the time, there still isn't a graphic calendar out. So he got it going, began to market it, then left Clear Systems and went to other things. Right now he's at the RAND Corporation, doing artificial intelligence. So he's really out of the business of consumer software. I had been, at the time, I was doing public relations and outreach at public radio, which is it's a peculiar kind of preparation for doing small in-house cottage industry, but it's not bad preparation, because one of the things that you learn in public radio is how to stretch the resources of free things, how you get people to do something for you without spending millions and millions of dollars. And I think one of my great lessons in marketing this piece of software has been how to run a software business without having $10 million to spend, as Lotus did when they were marketing 123. I started out also with this wonderful product, which Jeff designed, which is really an excellent, from what we can see, bug-free program. And with a lot of work and I hope creativity, we've managed to keep it afloat and out in the world.
So you're here and you're making it happen. We have a call on the line. Steve?
Hello there.
Hi, is this Steve?
Yeah, it is.
Hi, Steve. Welcome out, and my congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you. Nice to be back on the air here, too. Okay, Barbara.
Hi, Steve.
Questions here. The application that I would need your program for would be that I travel in my business. And I was thinking about the expense sheets. It seems like there's, the way you describe it, there's enough room to fill in, visited who, and time, went to lunch, went to how much it cost, and airplane information and all that. There would be plenty of room for all that?
Yeah, there you have pretty much room within the box, and there's also a special feature, a special flexibility where if you have notes to yourself, which really are more memos than actual landmark appointments, you can mark them with an asterisk, and then instead of something like an expense or time spent or something like that, instead of it actually coming up in the box, an asterisk would appear in the box, and then that information would come up on a second sheet called an overflow page. So that you could, for example, say you had a meeting with someone named Tom at 3 o'clock. On your calendar, you could say 3 o'clock meeting with Tom, and then on the second page, it would say the restaurant, the cost of the meal, and whatever else you wanted to note about that particular meeting.
Okay, so you could call up that information. Could you call that up and then print that too, then, with your word process?
Yeah, all of that would print out.
Okay. Steve, thanks very much for your question, and we hope you'll be calling in again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, take care. We have time for one more quick question. Floyd, can you make it a quick one?
Yeah, I'll make it real quick. Hi, I'm calling. I'm one of the probably a million people that this last Christmas got a computer. The one that I got was the Commodore 64. I wanted to kind of incorporate, I'm in sales, and I wanted to have some applications towards business. I've been told that Commodore is a great game computer, but in regards to putting some business applications, with sales and what have you, I'd be better off to trade it in and get something else. I've heard a lot of good things about the IBM PC, and I was just wondering if y'all had any suggestions.
Barbara, do you have any? That's a whole topic in itself. The only thing that I can say about that is you can do certain things for business on the Commodore. I mean, there's certain, database, and there's certain things that can be done. If it's serious integrated packages that you're looking for, Lotus 123 or something like that, you might want to go to an IBM PC.
I would think that a good idea would be to check what kind of software you need and then find out what system can run that software.
Yeah.
An IBM PC gives you an awful lot of flexibility, but you may not need that much.
Yeah, and what you really want to do is figure out exactly what you want to do, get the software, and then do it. Okay?
Super.
Thanks a lot. Bill, we got time for a real quick call.
Yeah, I like your program, but
Thank you.
I have one small complaint. It's too short. How can the public help you get on the air and say an hour show instead of half hour?
Okay, two things. Send cards and letters to the station, and you can go into our sponsors and demand more time. And tell them that you heard it here on the famous Computer Cafe. That's how you heard about them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Bill, thanks for your call. Oh, okay, we're going to take a quick break right now. We'll come back for a quick rack-up, and with Barbara Like, we're here at the famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff.
Start with the world's best-selling database system. Give it enhanced features to make it faster, more powerful, and easier to use, and you have the makings of a software heavyweight. DBase 3, Ashton Tate's hot new package for your 16-bit PC. With DBase 3, you can create records with up to 128 fields, access 10 files at once, and run other programs like communications or word processing without leaving DBase 3. You can read non-DBase files from other software programs or mainframe databases. And you can easily convert your DBase 2 files and programs to DBase 3. If you get stuck, help is at your fingertips with multiple help screens. And where do you go to see this powerful new program? Go see David and Betty Sun at Sun Computers in the city of Carson. They'll tell you what you need to know about DBase 3 and more. Sun Computers is located at 20925 South Bonita in Carson. Or call 213-538-8338. That's 213-538-8338. Sun Computers in Carson, a soft cell dealer.
Hi, well, that's just about all the time we have. We want to thank Barbara Like of Clear Systems. If you want to get a hold of her, find out about Calendar, their phone number is 213-394-7740. That's 394-7740. Clear Systems in the Santa Monica area.
And our winner today is, congratulations, Bob Claster will be sending you your party quiz. Tomorrow we have Larry Saltzman talking about computers in the entertainment biz. And on Wednesday, who's here on Wednesday, Andy?
On Wednesday, we have Jeff Rona from Roland Computers talking about computers and music.
So we'll see you then. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.